At the beginning of the first chapter of the manhwa, we see a battle arena where the player Zhu Zhen, being at level 200, effortlessly defeats his level 159 opponent. The other players are shocked and don't understand why they had never heard of him before, as his equipment surpasses many others. Zhu Zhen is just an ordinary guy who claims that he reached this level by spending a lot of money. He spent a full 5 years in the game to become the strongest and make other players tremble before him. As Zhu tells the others to remember his name, the game starts to lag and eventually completely freezes. A system message appears on the screen stating that his account has been blocked due to suspicions of cheating. In a fit of rage, Zhu punches the monitor and receives an electric shock, which ultimately kills him. The next second, Zhu's body lands in a strange room where armed people are already present. Two men discuss how he could be such a nobody, even though he's the son of a leader. A bald, muscular man yells at Zhu to get up. Zhu doesn't understand where he is and thinks that everything happening is just a dream. The bald man provokes a conflict. Zhu gets up and approaches him, saying that he can defeat them even in a dream. Suddenly, a young man with blue hair appears between them, addressing Zhu as his master, asking him to stop and return home with him. The blue-haired guy grabs Zhu by the collar and drags him to the exit. At that moment, Zhu has a seizure and his memory returns, along with his new memories. As it turns out, everything happening is not a dream. Zhu has been transported to another world and another body. This world is very similar to the one he lived in before, but a massive space storm happened several decades ago, which changed all living things on the planet. Most people turned into zombies, but there were also those in whom superpowers called Star Force manifested. A person with Star Force has a power 100 times greater than the combat power of an ordinary person. In this world, Zhu's father is a level 5 Star Force master and the head of the city where they are located. Zhu is fortunate to have such a father, but he himself is too weak to be respected as much. Upon returning, Zhu's father asks not to blame Uncle Yu for the incident and suggests trying to awaken the Star Force again. Zhu's father reminds him of the breathing practices during exercises that he taught him in order to direct the Star Force. Zhu is confident that if the previous owner of the body couldn't manage to acquire the Star Force, it doesn't mean that he himself won't be able to obtain it. After 2 hours, Zhu still hasn't felt any Star Force. He apologizes to his father for the failure and calls himself a nobody. His father supports him and says that with him by his side, nothing threatens him. When his father leaves, suddenly a system message appears. System activated. Do you wish to enter the game? Zhu sees in his reflection the same level 200 character from the game he used to play. Zhu agrees to enter the game. Zhu examines the system window with his character's stats and realizes he's only at level 1. Opening his skill tree, Zhu is upset that his character has been reset with all the abilities he had before gone, and he has no idea how to level up. At that moment, a charming girl enters his room, inviting him to join the dining table, and Zhu can't believe such a beauty lives with him. During dinner, Zhu notices he cannot recognize his father's stats because his own level is too low. Zhu decides to find a way to level up. The blue-haired guy, Lan Si, reminds Zhu that his father instructed him not to participate in training. Eventually, they arrive at a shooting range where they are greeted by Yan Beisun, a second-tier warrior. Yan smirks at Zhu, not understanding why he's come since he never showed interest before. After Zhu completes the training, he decides to take weapons and ammunition, taking advantage of his father's high position. Zhu and Lan Si head to the city's exit, and Lan Si warns that it's too dangerous. Zhu intends to kill a few zombies to see if he can level up, but Lan Si doesn't understand what level he's talking about. When they approach the massive wall protecting the city from monster invasions, a formidable warrior armed with a minigun jumps down from the top of the wall. This man turns out to be Zhu Lai, a third-tier warrior and Zhu's uncle. Zhu Lai asks who allowed them to come so close to the wall, to which Zhu replies that they came to help, but this only amuses Uncle Lai. Suddenly, a lookout on the wall shouts that zombies have breached the defenses. Zhu asks for a chance to show his skills as a marksman, which alarms Uncle Lai. While on the wall, Zhu notices that he can see the zombies' health levels, and using the scanning vulnerabilities skill, he finds their weak spots and starts shooting at them. Hitting a zombie in the head, Zhu gains 100 experience points and realizes he wasn't wrong about being able to level up. After a while, he notices that he has indeed leveled up. Zhu feels his strength increasing, and he finally understands what it's like. Uncle Lai notes Zhu's potential but says he needs to continue training. Opening the system window for his stats, Zhu increases his agility and strength. At that moment, one of the warriors shouts to Uncle Lai that he found a star crystal inside the body of a zombie killed by Zhu. Uncle Lai says that Zhu is lucky because it's a rare find. Star crystals are divided into white, blue, green, purple, orange, and red. Crystals are also classified into 3 types: low, middle, and high rank. These crystals are currency among warriors and are much more valuable than ordinary money. A single low-rank white crystal is enough for an ordinary person to eat for a week. Zhu gives the crystal to Uncle Lai, who exchanges it for several packs of cigarettes for his warriors, making a good impression on them. Half a month has passed since Zhu reached level 4, and his stats have grown. Uncle Lai is surprised that Zhu spends so much time on the wall and doesn't think about improving his combat skills as before. Zhu believes bullets are more effective. However, Uncle Lai points out that they are merely low-level warriors, and level 6 warriors are so strong that they aren't even afraid of bullets. Suddenly, they hear the sound of gunfire and an approaching car. Zhu notes that it's the same car his father left in for patrol in the morning. With a few accurate shots, he takes down the zombies chasing his father. After driving inside the wall, his father acknowledges Zhu's progress in marksmanship. Reporting the worsening situation outside the wall, Zhu suspects that his father is hiding something since the car is severely damaged and another warrior has unusual scratches. Heading back to the city, the leader urgently asks to stop the car and tells the zombie-injured warrior that he cannot go with them, as he poses a danger to others. At that moment, he points a gun at the warrior's head and shoots. During dinner, a shocked Zhu is unable to eat again. His father explains that sometimes sacrifices must be made for the sake of others. The next day, the leader forbids Zhu from leaving the house, but Zhu escapes anyway by climbing down a rope from the window and heading to the forest where higher-level monsters reside. Lan Si tries to dissuade Zhu from this idea and asks him to return to killing zombies. But zombies don't give as much experience, and leveling up on them has become more difficult. Lan Si blocks his way to the forest and says he swore to protect him when Zhu suddenly points his gun at him and shoots. The bullet misses Lan Si and hits a gray snake that had been hanging above him earlier. Lan Si is surprised how Zhu managed to detect it since he isn't even a warrior. Thanks to his scanning skill, Zhu sees that the forest is teeming with snakes and heads straight towards them. The next day, Zhu returns from hunting and is happily greeted by a junior warrior. Zhu gives him a crystal he obtained from killing monsters, telling him to use it to heal his sister. Over the past half a month, Zhu has been distributing most of the captured snakes and crystals they dropped to hungry and sick people, even though he could have profited from them. Upon returning to the city, he is joyously welcomed by the locals, and his reputation as a good person grows daily. Many people note his excellent archery skills and know they will be protected if danger threatens. At dinner, the city's leader remarks that he had forbidden Zhu to leave the house, but rumors about his son being a sharpshooter spread quickly, and he doesn't blame him. The city's leader reminds Zhu not to get too close to the lower class of people as they could become his burden. The next day, Commander Yan, walking through the city streets, hears locals comparing his and Zhu's shooting accuracy. Many citizens place their bets and choose Zhu. Annoyed, Commander Yan grumbles about people mentioning Zhu's name so often when suddenly, Zhu himself appears before him. Yan greets Zhu, but Zhu simply walks past, ignoring the commander, infuriating him. Yan flatters Zhu, saying people spread rumors about him being an excellent shooter and proposes a shooting accuracy competition, but Zhu replies that he doesn't have time for it. Then, Commander Yan suggests a competition for a green crystal, which greatly interests Zhu. Yan proposes shooting at moving targets, but Zhu finds it too boring and counter-proposes a hunting competition beyond the city limits, with the one who brings back more prey in a day being the winner. Hearing this, Yan is frightened but agrees anyway. During a break, Lan Si tells Zhu that Commander Yan is hypocritical, and there was no need to accept a competition with him since one could expect anything from him. Zhu isn't afraid of Yan and believes people should know the truth, especially such upstarts as Commander Yan. At this moment, Zhu sharpens his close combat skills and has already started getting used to cold weapons. Meanwhile, the city leader's subordinate informs him that his son will compete in hunting and that they need to prepare for it in advance. Somewhere outside the city, a gray-haired man watches zombies from the roof of a building, waiting for the right moment. The following morning, the locals greet Zhu and encourage him for the upcoming competition tomorrow. Over the past month, Zhu has gained popularity, and people believe in him. Zhu and Lan Si visit the local blacksmith to see if he has a powerful bow for training. The blacksmith informs them that he has one last bow left because few people use such a weapon nowadays. Besides, one needs to have a lot of strength points to use it. Zhu notes that it's the best way to train strength, accuracy, and dexterity. Stepping outside, Zhu immediately tries out the bow and accidentally hits an old woman's hair bun with an arrow, greatly amusing the nearby children. Retrieving the arrow that Zhu shot, the blacksmith notices that he pinned a tiny fly from a great distance. After another hunt, Zhu finally reaches level 15 and can now unlock 2 new skills. However, he doubts their effectiveness at the moment. Zhu asks Lan Si where they can find monsters scarier than those in this forest. After a while, they arrive at a new location called Bamboo Forest. This forest is home to dangerous boars that even 4th and 5th rank warriors struggle to handle. Within moments, a boar charges at the protagonist. Zhu manages to dodge its attack, and Lan Si steps forward, trying to protect Zhu. However, the main character swiftly leaps over his friend and attacks the boar. Zhu decides to test out the new skills he gained from leveling up and kills the boar with just a few blows. In the evening, he cooks the very same boar for dinner, taking his father by surprise. Zhu's father doesn't know how to react, whether to praise him for his achievements or scold him for disobeying again. During the conversation, Zhu asks his father to lend him some star crystals so he can bet on himself in the competition. At this point, we see Captain Yan training hard, determined to win and humiliate Zhu in front of others. The day of the competition arrives. Zhu and Commander Yan meet in the town center to determine who is the more accurate archer. Zhu hands a crystal to a boy, asking him to bet on him. The commander is annoyed by his opponent's confidence. The host announces the competition rules. The winner will be determined solely by the value of their prey, and the level of the weapons used is irrelevant. A rookie against a third-rank fighter, this will be a spectacular sight. Meanwhile, Zhu's father watches the events from the city wall, noting that if anything goes wrong, he can step in, but in the future, Zhu must rely on himself. At that moment, a silver-haired man receives a message on his radio that his mission is to eliminate target number 2, and as a reward, he will receive a green crystal. He opens his notebook and marks his target, Zhu Zhen. The silver-haired man named Tan Lai is a 5th-rank warrior and a hired assassin. His assistant informs him that the competition has already begun. Somewhere in the forest, Zhu looks at a map given to him by the locals, which shows the locations of monsters of different levels. Zhu arrives at the spot where the shadow wolves reside. These monsters are quite dangerous and have a high level. Sensing Zhu's presence, the wolves attack. A couple of hours later, we see Zhu has defeated 5 wolves, reaching his limit. He attains level 16, and his abilities are now nearly equal to a 3rd-rank warrior. At the same time, on the other side of the forest, 3 warriors guard the borders when they suddenly notice someone's presence. Tan Lai approaches them, pretending to be lost. He asks if they recognize the person in a photo and where they last saw him. One of the junior warriors says he knows who it is and saw Zhu in the morning. In an instant, Tan Lai attacks the squad members, killing them within seconds. Meanwhile, Zhu continues his hunt for wolves and spots the boss, the White Wolf. However, his equipment is broken, and he cannot fight it. Deep in the forest, Zhu notices a red life bar and realizes someone has come to kill him. Tan Lai stops to survey the area. At that moment, Zhu decides to attack first and catch his enemy off guard. Zhu executes a combination of attacks and uses a skill he recently learned. Tan Lai is shocked by the fast and powerful attack, clearly not expecting such a move from a rookie. Zhu asks Tan Lai who sent him, but the mercenary doesn't answer and immediately counterattacks. Realizing he cannot fight the mercenary for long, Zhu hides behind a tree, scanning Tan Lai's vulnerable spots. Tan Lai's skill level far surpasses Zhu's, and even bullets don't help, as he simply dodges the shots. Zhu decides to quickly jump from a cliff into a pack of wolves, followed closely by Tan Lai, who swings his sword, hoping to deliver the final blow. Zhu intentionally lured the mercenary into the wolf pack, believing that their chances of survival would be equal. At that moment, the white wolf opens its eyes and spots Zhu and Tan Lai. Surrounded by wolves, Zhu thinks of a way to break through and escape the trap. He grabs 2 grenades, detonates them, and hides in the smoke using his skills, leaving Tan Lai alone to fight the wolves. After some time, silence falls on the battlefield. Tan Lai has killed the entire wolf pack but failed to defeat the last white wolf. Ultimately, Tan Lai collapses to the ground, exhausted and dying. Zhu managed to outsmart his opponent and claim all his wealth. The white wolf is severely injured, and Zhu only needs to finish it off. That same evening, people in the town center are heatedly discussing the ongoing competition and asking each other who they have bet on. Commander Yan returns first, and the people rejoice, shouting that he has returned victorious as his vehicle is packed with prey. A few moments later, Zhu Zhen returns in a broken-down vehicle, causing Commander Yan to smirk. The time has come to tally the competition results. First, they evaluate Captain Yan's haul. Opening the trunk, people are amazed by his catch, a 2nd-level boar that also contains a medium-rank white crystal. While Captain Yan boasts to everyone, Zhu remains calm, waiting for his moment. However, this wasn't all of the captain's catch. He also killed a 3rd-level forest spider worth 3 high-class white crystals. Most spectators were confident that the captain had undoubtedly won. In his moment of triumph, Captain Yan tells Zhu, "There's a huge gap between us. A genius like me can't be compared to a cast-off like you." To which Zhu replies, "So, you consider yourself a cast-off?" Captain Yan, puzzled, looks at Zhu. At that moment, Zhu stands up and approaches his vehicle to reveal his catch. Pulling off the canvas, the white wolf lies on the roof of the vehicle, worth 100 high-class white crystals. The crowd cheers, and everyone confirms Zhu's absolute victory. Captain Yan cannot accept defeat and accuses Zhu of cheating. However, Zhu thanks the captain himself, as to deal with a cast-off like Zhu, the commander had hired a 5th-rank warrior.